This video is going to be going over the tornado outbreak of April 2nd through 3rd of 1982. As is tradition, starting with our outbreak overview first. There were 63 tornadoes across 11 states. Granted, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Mississippi, and Louisiana would only suffer from one tornado, as seen on this map of granted only 56 mapped out by Dr. Ted Fujita and team. There would be 15 intense tornadoes and 4 violent tornadoes. Violent meaning F4 plus. This outbreak in total would inflict $390.5 million in damage, injuring 433. Tragically in all, 30 were killed. This outbreak would spawn the first F5 since 1977. Now I'd assume that the last F5s before 77 were from the 74 Super. Our first of 3 notables is the Hampton to Eagletown, Oklahoma F5. The Broken Arrow F5 does have a disputed rating, as the F5 damage claimed was actually from ranch homes that only needed F3 winds to be slabbed. Now, despite the rating, 29 people were injured, and thankfully nobody was killed. Tornado achieved an average width of 460 meters or 500 yards wide. That is 5 football fields wide, and achieved a maximum width of around or over 1,200 meters. This tornado coursed a very impressive 85 kilometers and was just one out of a family of tornadoes. Thankfully, this tornado missed densely populated areas. Our second notable, the Toco to Detroit, Texas F4, is another disputed rating. Granted, this rating is actually from low-end F4 winds, but they were on dubiously constructed concrete mortar homes. Because these homes were not up to par, it is most likely that this tornado was high-end F3 instead of low-end F4. At its widest, this tornado was 270 meters wide, or 300 yards wide, 3 football fields wide. Unlike the Broken Arrow F5, this tornado would not be so generous in missing towns and cities. 170 were injured and 10 lost their lives. More than 500 homes were damaged or destroyed. Our last notable, the Stringtown to Wallaceburg, Arkansas F4, would have another impressive track of 72 kilometers, with an average width of 180 meters or 200 yards. 27 were injured and 3 were killed. All 3 deaths did occur in a small suburb of Nashville, Arkansas. This outbreak, as it is April when this outbreak occurred, is very in season for Tornado Alley. In our typical Tornado Alley states, we have many F1s in Missouri, even in F4, and we have our cyclic supercells trekking much more eastward rather than northeastward in Oklahoma and Arkansas and Texas. Notice how parallel these two course for quite a while. And in fact, 2 of the tornadoes I talked about were parts of the same tornado family. The biggest significance of this outbreak is that it spawned the first particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. A PDS torn watch is to note the fact that tornadoes are not exactly possible, but more so expected, and expected to be F2, or in this day and age, F2 plus in strength. There is also a much greater wind and hail threat, and the greater wind and hail threat goes for whether it be a PDS torn watch or a PDS severe thunderstorm watch. Now I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know that this is shorter than what these short summaries usually are, hence the term a very short summary. But I hope to see you in the next, whether it be weather topic or short summary. Again, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. Until next time.